The final 3 episodes of Ironheart are here, and we're kind of stuck in the middle on this one. There are some moments that genuinely work, such as like Riri wrestling with magic, but dealing with it in a technological way. But for all of these good moments, there seems to be a bit of a head scratcher that goes along with it. There are some very much just plot inconveniences that just feel a little bit lazy, and this show just can't get out of its own way.
You know, there's a lot that could have been done with this show that could have caught my interest and could have just been fun. Riri is not a character that I was at all interested in. Before you guys bombard me with hate, I didn't care for her in the comics. I just found her sort of dull, this necessity to like take the Iron Mantle, if you will. And then there's other characters that could have. Here in the show, I've said this. In the movie, Wakanda Forever, she was easily the weakest part, or at least for me, the part that I enjoyed the least. Here, I thought that they were going to try to at least do something different. I'm into the whole, scientific technology, and magic. Because, Griffin and I like Doctor Doom, and that's all he ever is magic and tech. She just annoyed the hell out of me. Just the fact that she keeps saying she's not going to trash his legacy, but then she turns around and says, well, the only reason why he was able to do all that stuff is because he had all this money. I don't have all this money, but I have. It happened more than once. Every time someone threw the name Stark out, she just the stupid need to like essentially piss on his legacy. And I know Robert Downey, before anybody gets keyboard warriors, RDJ came online a couple of times and he backed this show and he was like, yeah, the Iron Mantle or whatever. But come on, let's face it. I mean, he got paid to do that stuff, which is okay. I'm not complaining about him doing it, but it's just a character. It's just this bitchy kid who's mad at the. She's a intellectual prodigy with all this talent, all this, brain smarts, but she spends most of the time just bitching and complaining about stuff. And I get it. She has a loss. At very early on in the show, it explains that she lost a friend, and essentially she's trying to do this, as Griff says, because she's trying to, help. Essentially, she wants police and firefighters to get to the scene quicker. I get all that. But they didn't really do much with that. They kind of like hinted at it and didn't go anywhere with it.
Yeah, they dropped it.
And then so I figured, okay, they're gonna get into the magical aspect of it mixed with technology. Badass, let's do it. And they kind of didn't do it. I don't know if they weren't able to figure out how to do it. We all knew Mephisto was.
I don't know why they couldn't.
I'm not sure.
They have a whole video game about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they. I mean, I guess if they would have stuck more to that, I would have been a lot more happy with it. But it's just a character. I think we're gonna see more of her, but I hope they just really get a good writer and just jot it out. It's not. Yeah, it's the character that I hate. It's not working for me. I mean, there's others. Morgan Stark could have taken up the mantle. Where the hell is she? That kid from Iron Man 3.
Still in grade school.
Tony Stark. And then, okay, so this is the thing that pisses me off about Riri Williams saying that Stark was just some rich boy that was able to come up with all this technology. He didn't come up with this technology till he was well in his 40s. And Stark is a child prodigy. The dude graduated from MIT, at fucking 14? He built his first computer system when he was, 9? He took over his father's company, with the help of Obadiah Stane, but he essentially, just created some of the most high-tech weapons of the modern age. And here's this chick getting kicked out of school and just bitching all the time. It's just not good.
I agree and disagree with Edward there. To start off with, I think the role of Riri, definitely no fault of Dominique Thorne. I think she did a great job in the role. I think the acting she did was great. I liked Riri. I liked her a lot more than Wakanda Forever. It could just be due to my low expectations, but I did enjoy her, and I thought the character writing for her, it is not perfect. None of the writing in this show is perfect, but I don't think it was nearly as bad as I expected it to be. I do think they should have pushed further on her dream, and I do wish they did that, but I am also glad they didn't go too far in the Age of Ultron, just redoing the plot. But I do like in these 3 episodes, especially the first episode, how they dealt with Riri's paranoia. I thought that was such a good way, and it makes sense for her to deal with it, where she wants to protect everyone close to her, and she did that by encapsulating all of them in an impenetrable bubble. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad that they fixed the issue that I had in the first 3 episodes of why the hell, if MIT wasn't working, why didn't Riri go to Wakanda and just study there, considering they're cutting edge and she has an in with the queen? I am glad they did address that. And then with what Edward said with her dealing with magic and technology, I think it was really well done how she dealt with magic via technology, how she had this unexplained phenomenon and she went about it in the most science way she could to try to figure out what she could do. And then when that doesn't work, she went to magic. And I do agree. I think they could have done more with it. I mean, there's a whole Midnight Suns game out there that has Iron Man in it and how his suit, like when they incorporate magic with it. I don't get why they didn't do more. But at the same time, I feel like there'd be a learning curve for it with how to use magic while in the suit that we may get later. But I think the visuals for it looked really cool with the red, especially in episode 6 when she fights the Hood and does use that one spell to dispel his invisibility. I think that was visually really good. But I do agree with Edward that this character has some major flaws. The biggest one's that there's absolutely zero character growth for her throughout this entire series. They try to push onto her like to let your family in, and to an extent she does. And she does get some character growth, but then she throws it all away in episode 6 when she makes a deal with Mephisto. I wish she just didn't make that deal, because all she did is prove she's the exact same as the Hood. I don't know if that's the direction I would have gone. I don't know if in general this is the story I would have gone with Ironheart. I still would have gone with Mephisto and the Hood, but not necessarily becoming a criminal. I feel like it does work in a lot of aspects, but also it's just not really what I pictured. Why would you make this hero in the comics a criminal, especially in such a selfish way? She was just a very selfish character, which is intentional, but also just an odd direction to go with. Perhaps the biggest letdown for these 3 episodes is the complete mishandle of the character Zeke. I like how this showcases how us, the viewer, views Obadiah Stane, his father, completely different from the characters in the MCU, as they still view him as this mentor to Tony Stark, whereas we know him as the Ironmonger who did just try to destroy Tony Stark. But I think there were just so many plot holes and inconsistencies around Zeke's character. First of all, I do like that they made him this biotech weapon like they did in the comics, but they should have done more with it. All they did is just make him fucking Electro. They just gave him lightning powers and that's it. I don't get why they didn't do more with it.
Stop with the lightning powers, man.
Yeah, like they did it with Doctor Doom. They did it here. Like, you could do so much more. Even in Riri's HUD, when she analyzed Zeke, they listed many other things he could do, and he never fucking did it. I also don't get how Zeke could be tied back to the crime scene, because these were all black market deals with very little records, 0 patents, and his name's not on it. So how the hell did they know that he was the one that created it? Also, I feel like if you create the tech, doesn't mean you're the one responsible. I mean, just because I got a Google phone, if I'm going to drop it at a crime scene, they're not going to go arrest Google. That just doesn't make sense. Also, aren't there security cameras? I mean, they've been committing crimes with an Iron Man suit. It's pretty obvious who one of the criminals is. I just feel like there's just so much oversight with this character, and how when he goes this invasive procedure to become this biotech weapon, why is your code not locked down so no one can touch it once the operation starts? Because them just trading in the admin name from his to Parker's is so fucking lame. It was just done purely for the plot. I hated that. Like, Zeke's entire handling in these 3 episodes was awful.
I mean, Griffin said it best. You know, there's so much that could have been done and should have been done with this character, given the legacy, given who his father was. They didn't do dick with it. And then
It was awful.
the fact that they keep giving these villains lightning powers when they don't. With Electro, sure, that's his power. But with, like, you know, this guy, Doctor Doom, they use lightning more than fucking Raiden for Mortal Kombat, and he's the god of... It makes no stupid sense. It's crazy. There's so much history with this character. The fact that his father, you know, was this giant mogul, in the eyes of everyone else, a father figure to Tony, but then, we all know that he, as Griff said, ended up trying to kill him. There could have been so much. He could have had it out for just the Stark legacy. He could have just been obsessed with, like, clearing his father or making his father out to be like this hero, or he could have just been obsessed with being
his
a
father.
hero.
What? No, his father in the MCU is a hero. His
No,
father
I know,
has,
but like
there's no besmirchment.
But he could have been out to, like, hey, maybe
like
find
personally,
out
okay.
find out the truth about his father, or on a personal level, yeah, like. I don't know, man. They could have gone anywhere with this,
Anywhere but Electro.
where they went. It was a waste of a character. I told Griff before we record, this actor can't catch a break. He was cast as Solo. That movie didn't go anywhere. All the rewrites, and
That's where he's from.
And now he gets this
I've
character.
been wondering that for 6 episodes,
and it just didn't fucking. He was kind of just there. It's just another not well used character. Terribly written.
He was plot convenient on both sides.
While we're talking about characters, I got to jump into the Hood. I haven't seen this actor in much, and what I have seen him in, he's been okay. He's never really, he's not one of these actors I'm like, that dude, I could see him in a lot of stuff. And then seeing him here, very much like Zeke, he kind of just came and went. I mean, I don't know enough about this character, but what I saw, it never gripped me. I mean, the whole thing with Mephisto, him and Riri, there just wasn't enough there for me to say, yeah, I care about this character, I care about his story, and he didn't go from point A to point B for me. It was just kind of boring and bland.
I feel like the threat level could definitely be amped. I do like the actor Anthony Ramos. I liked him in Hamilton. I liked him Into the Heights. I think it's even funny how at the end of episode 4, they had him sing the credit song. I just thought that was a fun Easter egg. I thought he was good, not great. And now, this is a question I wanted to ask you last video, but obviously we couldn't. But his entire premise here of getting these companies to sign over these contracts to give him controlling interest. Edward, as the lawyer here, that's not going to hold up in court. That's definitely signed under duress and won't hold up, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, they could claim duress. So,
yeah, that's.
And
I
these
feel like
companies also
level.
have, more likely than not, they probably have a very solid legal team that's going to just fight that. So, yeah. But
and not to mention, these were signed without a lawyer present, which they could.
There you go.
Also get them on. I just feel like his plan could have been
Better.
Like he's a gangster. He's like essentially like think like a mafia, like a gangster mafia member.
He's a dumb thug. That's what he is. He's a dumb.
Yeah, they
thug.
did make him like. I did enjoy the Hood in this. I do agree with Edward that he could have been better. I feel like I enjoyed him more purely because I like the character in the comics and I like the actor.
Especially for someone who's making deals
with the fucking devil.
Essentially, yeah, Mephisto's the devil. But, you would think that if he's buddies with the devil, he would learn his ways and he would learn how to manipulate shit better. And he goes in there, like Griff says, he gets deals signed without a lawyer present.
Sweet talk him. I mean, yeah, I do like watching his downward spiral from once John dies, how fastly he unravels. I don't get why he's doing all this tattoo work though, because I don't get that. Maybe that's something I just missed, but to me, I didn't really like that. I do agree, could have been better for a villain, but he was merely there to get us Mephisto. And speaking of Mephisto, I really enjoyed him. He was cast in 2021. I think Sasha was definitely the perfect casting for this. I do want to see more of him. I wish we saw him in his Red Devil form. But from what I saw of him, I really enjoyed. He was very charismatic. He was a sweet talker. And I liked how they used Dormammu as a red herring. And I'll get a little bit more into that in a bit. But I enjoyed Mephisto overall. I really want to see more of him. If this is a one and done, I'm going to be so angry. It's going to be so much wasted potential.
It wouldn't be the first time Marvel does that shit.
And that has me worried. That has me so
Remember, we still don't have
goddamn
Blade.
Worried. Dude, there's a whole list of characters we don't have. It's insane. I want Mephisto to come back. He was one of the best parts of this show. He was my favorite part of episode 6. I really want to see more. I can't wait to see more of Mephisto.
Yeah, this show's shit. I don't like this show. It bored the hell out of me. But if I had to pick one thing that stood out that gripped me for at least a couple of minutes, it's Mephisto. And it's because of Sasha. I do want to see more of him. I don't... Maybe he will do horrible if we see more of him. I don't know. But I am interested. I mean, he's just a fun character. He's the devil.
Do you want to see him in Secret Wars? Like, even just for, like, a brief moment?
Probably not in Secret Wars. Yeah. Just because I just don't think the devil fits into Secret. Like,
they don't
what
have
the
the
hell's
time.
Yeah, no, they probably do. But like, what the hell's the devil gonna do in Secret Wars? You know. But I do want to see more of him.
I think of a couple things.
Just because he's fun. I mean,
I agree.
He's the devil. Let's see what he does.
One thing that really bugged me, and I don't know if this is nitpicky or just plot hole convenience, but the character of Zelma, this very amateur young sorceress they introduced, I liked her introduction. I liked the look, but the plot of giving Riri her magical suit bugged the fuck out of me for several reasons. So her mom dropped out of Carmitage for a bit of background. Great, that's totally fine. But the fact that this amateur, untrained sorceress has the knowledge and skill to access the dark dimension, alleged dark dimension, when that was a forbidden knowledge in Carmitage that was completely locked up for Sorcerer Supreme only, I don't get why she would know that in the first place, much less have the control to cast it.
Because this show sucks and the writers are idiots.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can really get for is like the writing for that scene was just super convenient. They couldn't have done it any other way. Like Wong has been jumping all over the goddamn place. You could have fucking done Wong somehow. I mean, for some reason he was in She-Hulk, you could put him in here. I don't understand why. Like how the fuck does that happen? I get it, it's for the plot, but still, that really bugged me, especially when it was such a big part of Doctor Strange's movie when that was forbidden, and just the fact that the Sorcerer Supreme did it, who is the most powerful sorcerer in all of existence, and they condemned her for doing it. Why the fuck does this amateur going to?
You know, there's some amazing shit that you guys can sit there and watch on Disney Plus when you have time. I could list off a couple of things.
I do still think this is better than a lot of what's happened in Phase 5. There's been a lot of shit in this phase.
We're going to disagree here. This is one of those fucking things from Phase 5 or 4 that just, to me, this shit's abysmal. It's boring as all hell. There's only one character here that I gave a single fuck about. It's Mephisto, and he was barely in it. He was mentioned, but he was barely in it, and that's the one character that I cared about. The protagonist sucks. The rest of the cast was boring at best, and the other character that perhaps I could have been excited for, they didn't know what the hell to do with him.
Yeah,
it's just lazy ass writing. No, it's not lazy writing. It's just stupid writing. I don't know who the hell the writing room looked. You know what the hell the writing room looked like. It's just a couple of morons in there just pumping shit out. I was not entertained in the least bit.
Yeah. I sadly think that there is another moment, a dumb writing moment, that as soon as I saw it, I think it's even dumber than the magic moment I just mentioned. This is probably maybe the dumbest moment in all of the series. Everyone, let me know if you agree, and everyone in the comments, because I know most people aren't enjoying this show. When in episode 5, when Riri is being chased from that van, right? And she's like right by her car trying to unlock it. She really chose the only direction she shouldn't run. Left would have gotten her out of the way of the car, and she could have ran behind the car. Going past the wall of cars would have gotten it. Why would you run straight when a car is barreling towards you? Like she had so much time just to duck behind her car. Like I don't understand why she just decided to run the worst direction possible.
I do.
Because the writing's terrible?
Because the writers are morons. This show sucks, man. I mean, I can't... The more that Griffin calls out scenes or different moments in the show, the more I remember that this show just sucks. It's boring. It's one of those...
But it does further my Midnight Suns theory. I am convinced we're getting Midnight Suns.
It is...
That's for sure.
We're getting Midnight Suns before we get Blade because...
Yes.
Marvel doesn't know what the fuck they're doing with that character, which is sad because Mahershala
Yep.
is going to be like 70 before that shit gets up and running. And he's a great actor, by the way. But this show is just one of those. It's the Acolyte for Marvel for me. I'm never rewatching.
This is
show.
not as bad as Secret Invasion.
I'm never. Yeah,
Secret Invasion's definitely worse than this.
No,
The Marvels is worse than this.
no. This is up there. This
Really?
is fucking. This is that fuck. Oh,
That is-
but by the same token, I'm never watching Secret Invasion again or fucking the Marvels. Those are movies that I'm canonically skipping when I do my Marvel run, which I'm currently on. But yeah, I'd skip this. I never want to revisit this ever again. If this is on a flight, I'm going to the fucking bathroom, or just turning it off and playing music. Fuck this show.
Yep. Fair enough. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. And did you enjoy Ironheart, or do you agree with Edward that it was a pretty trash show? And if you enjoyed this video and haven't seen our review for the previous 3 episodes, you can check it out right now.
Take care, guys.